got them all out for video. I guess we're just gonna go through and just talk about, you know, the year, a little differences, there's a couple special ones in here. We'll see. Just got 41 of them, I counted. Too many, or not enough. I ain't decided which. Let's start over here. This is a very early 1963 XL12. Missing its tag, but tell by the way the gas cap is, the Wix fuel system, the black decal, and the idle adjustment, which should be, yep, the idle adjustment is in the carb on the carb box. Some have them in the back right here, some have them right here. The earliest ones are in the carb box. This is probably also 1963. It is, because it doesn't have the, it's also missing its tag. It doesn't have the screw here or here, it's in the carb box. And, but this actually, I don't know, might be a 64, because it is a regular fuel system. You see a lot of them where people drilled holes in the tank, just made them work. It's not this one. This one here is a 1965, 64, one or the other. Super XL12, a true Super XL12. And most Super XL12s have this little like guard, muffler guard. And there's a 64, 65 Super XL manual oiler only with the plug for the automatic oiler pickup and the green handle. Here's a 1965 XL automatic. Don't see too many of those. And where's the idle on this one? That one has it on the side. This one, it's on the back. So they kind of went through and changed them as they went. They decided that the one on the side was the one they were going to keep. Here's a XL500 auto. Has the idle right there, and it's, again, all the early ones have the knobby gas cap and the knob on the air cleaner covering the mufflers. The earliest ones were stacks. Then they went to the 2-bolt, and most of the Supers had the thicker chrome ones, or the wider. And that one does too. This one has a straight pipe XL500. And the Christmas trees are, I think, both are 65s. And here's a 65 XL12, just a straight up XL12. It's kind of hard to tell the year on these because you can't look at the serial number like you can the later ones and tell. You just kind of got to go by the way it looks. Does not have the Wix fuel system. This would have been last year for the Wix fuel system. That XL automatic has a Wix fuel system. XL500 does not. This does not. The 65 was last year. They quit putting them on. Here's a 68 Super XL. All Super XLs. This, you can tell Super XL's early, has a knobby gas cap. And they didn't come with oilers, manual oilers, until about 65, where they started putting them on there. And that is a early one too. You can tell in the paint colors, the later blue ones are like a metallic color. You can tell they're later. These are like kind of a baby blue. Here's a Super XL 1960 68 as well. This one has the factory oiler knob. Well, some did come out of the factory with them, and that is one of the rare examples with that oiler knob. Here's a 60, also probably 68 Super XL with the oil plug and the knobby gas cap. But this one has a square air filter knob. You will see that where people have changed them, or some of them I do believe came out of the factory with the mismatched on there. And somebody threw that muffler on there. You'll see red handle brackets all the time, different parts on them. And some came with log dogs, most did not at this point in time. Here's a, I believe, 68, 69 Super XL with the baby blue color again, chrome handle, chrome muffler. Here's probably a 67, maybe 68 XL12. This is probably a 68, 69, because it is the metallic blue color. Could even be a 70. And you can tell at this time they all had the ID tags down here. This is probably and these gas caps are square. They switched that in the late 68, I do believe, early 69, they switched that. Here is probably a 69 Super XL. And somebody added that, and the black mufflers came on the later Super XLs too. They were black from the factory, just rusted up. And another way to tell if the Super XLs early, they'll have metal oil pickup plugs. The later ones had plastic ones. So keep on going down the line. Here's probably a 70, 71 Super XL with the oil, the silver. And this one had a chrome muffler. They were using up parts at this time. These were starting to come in, and they got less and less of those. They just got thrown on and put out the door. And they have the ID tags down here. In 1970, they would change that. And in 70, but they kept using this until about 72. And then they all had them over here on this side. In 70, you can either find them with this style tag or a later tag. I'll show you here in a minute. And here's a 70, 72, 71, early 70s Super XL again, chrome muffler. And you'll start to see where they red and then it's painted over it blue, and you'll see red starting to come through on some places. You'll see that on a couple saws, or blue coming through depending on it. And by this time they all had the screw like that. And let's see, again, square caps. Sorry, the wind's kind of blowing. Okay, let's go over here. Start back over here for this one. Here is a last year production for that style tag, which is 72. And it has at this time they had the plastic oil pickup. Again, chrome muffler. You see them with that until about 74 when they went to just pure red saws and didn't make any more blue ones. Here's a Super XL. This one is a 70. Yep, they started in 70 with that tag, but you could also, you can find them with that tag too. Just they're using up their tags and using up parts like anybody else would. And they also had the oil plug and the plastic oil pickup. That's that tag. Again, the black muffler on there. It seemed like their paint wasn't really good through these years. It chips off a lot more than the other ones would. That's just the way they are. There is I believe this is a 71 XL12. Yep, 71. And the gas cap's changed again to the black with this design in the middle, still square air filter cover, and this thinner muffler, which is also would have been black. And this one has the tag over here, 71. Log dog spike again. And this time, these two saws are pretty much identical, aside for that red knob. I'm not sure what that's all about, but this is also a 71 XL12 again, short black muffler, gas cap same. These saws are identical. Here's a 72 XL400, which is, you know, kind of the rarer ones. Again, using up parts with the metal oil pickup. These were 65 cc's, I do believe. These came with the knob like that, and the plastic air filter covers were being used at this time in 72. 72 was like the year they went to the plastic. The red started to come out. The blues were still around. You'll never see a blue one with a plastic one that's painted blue. You just won't see it. Here's a 73, I do believe. 73, yep, 73. Super XL. Again, design cap, the black metal air filter cover, the little sticker you'll see on the early 70s ones. And here, okay, so these, let me think. Again, different paint scheme. The black recoil cover and collection cover on some of them. The early 72, 73 came with the red, and they just had Homelite like that. And I believe this is a 74. It is. They went to the black on both sides. This is just a regular XL12. Here's an XL12. Also, I do believe 74. Yep, these saws are identical. Cap, same sticker, same sticker. This one has a red gas cap. I do not believe that is original, so let me put that on there. Metal air filter cover again, just to show. They also had plastic ones at this time, and all XL12s came with the manual button because none of them are automatic. Here is a 1974 Super XL. This is the one's in pretty good shape. And they started switching the handles in 73, 74 to these style handles instead of the old metal one. Thick muffler. All XL12s came with a thin style muffler. Thick muffler, plastic air filter cover. See what else is different about these. Not much. This one, it's kind of hard to tell again on the years on these ones because a lot of times they wipe off like that, and that's like they put a sticker on top of the sticker, if that makes any sense. So this one's probably a 75, and a gas cap. It's supposed to have a gas cap like the ones over there, but it don't. So it's probably 75, and a plastic air filter with the Homelite stamped like that instead of embossed, I guess. Somebody repainted that back rear handle. That's just fine. Here's a 76. This has a little sticker. It could be a 74, but if it's not, it's a 76 because you see the sticker on top of the sticker. Red gas cap. This would be the year they went to the red gas cap that came on them. Black oil knob, handle. Again, black clutch cover, little sticker, muffler. Let's see what else changed. And all these are about the same. Here's a 70, I do believe it's 76 Super XL. This is where they went to the, it just said Super XL and it was all red. See how this one's black. They made Super XL just like this. I had that like that, but this one's all red. And again, cap, oil plug, all plastic by this time. And here's a 70, this is, I believe, 77. No, this is 76 as well. XL12 with the red side and a red side on this side as well. By this time they started coming, I believe, actually 73 is when they, 72 is when they started coming with the sprocket nose bars instead of hard nose bars. This, I believe, is 77. It is 77 XL12. It went to the decal in the middle, and all plastic parts by this time. Here's an old dirty 79 XL12. Nothing too much. Do they have the plastic? No, they do not by this time. Later, I'll show you they have the plastic throttle lock. Can't think today. Yeah, that's all dirty. I need to clean it up. Here is a, again, sticker on the side, sticker on the side. Oh, and mufflers changed too. Forgot to mention. They went to that style in the late 70s, 78, 79 instead of the old just 4 red muffler 2-bolt. Here is a 79 Super XL. Again, you know, pretty common one, pretty common. Now we'll go down to over here. This is when they started using, instead of the numbers, they started using the letters. C indicates 1981. So this would be a 1981 Super XL with the cage muffler. They started putting that cage like a heat shield and the plastic throttle lock. Plastic chokes came out in 73. I forgot to mention that earlier. They came out in 73. Yeah, pretty basic besides that. This has a metal cover on it. It did not come factory with the metal cover. Metal covers quit in about 73, 74. Whenever the last blue one was made in 74, and that's when they quit the metal ones and they all went to plastic. Here is a, it doesn't say, I believe 81, 82 Super XL again with the metal handguard. Oh, different oilers came out in the 80s, early 80s, all plastic. The early ones were metal. Had a little plastic knob on top. Here's a, what is this? 81 as well, Super XL with the, again, plastic controls, different style spark plug boots in late 70s. They quit and they put the little plastic, not the boot, little cover on there, I guess you'd call it. They had different style mufflers. The cage muffler was optional. This muffler went all the way down was an option, and the muffler that stopped up here was an option. And again, this is probably an 81 82 Super XL, you know, blue on there, busted, put that on there. So again, metal handguard. This is an optional muffler guard instead of the cage muffler. They had these as well. And this is an 84 when they started putting the plastic wrap and the plastic handguard on there. And this is a 84 Super XL. I believe, yep, F equals 74. Again, all these had the same decals. From about 77 on, they had that style decal. And this is when they changed. About 85, 86 is when they came with that style decal. It just said Homelite Super XL. And again, they've had this little safety was becoming more in the thing. They had to put little hearing protection, just warning labels on them. Kickback warning label. They had those late 70s too, I do believe. This one's in decent shape. Yep, the rubber wrap. Change that, and the carburetors, the original ones, the early 60s ones all had Tillotson, and early 70s, late 60s, some had Walbro, still had Tillotson. By this time, most of them had Walbro carburetors, and in 84, 83, they had Zama carburetors. So that's probably 86 on, they had Zamas. This is a 87 Super XL. They had that. Some had this little sticker. You see them on Super 2s and other model saws as well. This is also cage muffler, wrap handle. That's the late 80s ones. They made those until about 81, look just like those two. And here is a 1992. This is when they started the limited edition. The old blue, the big red, and the limited edition. And then they had this also, just blue, but it said Super XL and had that style sticker on there. It's 1992 old blue. I had black Homelite on them, this one. They had black caps, just because the red ones wouldn't look right on them. Kind of a 30-year anniversary of the Super XL-ish, XL12. That style saw. And they switched again to the more of a, you know, computer style font instead of just a regular font. Here's probably a 82, 83, somewhere around there. It's missing a sticker on the side. Limited edition. Again, they came factory with the handguards from about 80, 81. And the Big Red Super XL 1995 Big Red. And it is a, yep, they had, some of the later ones had that style sticker, like a little.
Homelite's done it again, done it again. They've made the world's lightest direct drive chainsaw. Homelite's done it again.
It's called the XL12, a 12-pound chainsaw. Homelite's done it again.
Cuts a 12-inch log in just 10 seconds.
Drops 3-foot trees at your command.
The XL12, as small as it is.
Anyway, so there's all the Super XLs, 40 of them. I got some history to go along with them. I'm missing the John Deere and also the regular limited edition. And I think that'll be about it. The XL660. I think that'll be about it. But besides that, that's about all of them. Thanks for watching, guys.